simple and plain. And to be the best, you have to win. And that's why I play the game. You know, that's what drives me.
If I got to fight to get you in the gym, that's a problem. That's a problem. You want players that are gym rats, players that want to be in the gym, that want to work. And then from there, you build on top of that. But if you're lazy, man, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you. You're going to make me feel dumber. You know, you know, you're going to lower my level. I don't think so. You can go over there.
This guy is the best. How does that make you feel? I know you're kind of chuckling now because we can joke about it, but you're the best player in the nation for anybody in high school.
It feels good. It's great confidence, but you have to keep moving on. Because I know a lot of guys who've been #1 in the past years, and it just fell off a cliff. Mm-hmm. So I have to keep working hard, and hopefully everything will work out. I'll be #1 in the future. So I'm going to continue to work hard, and we as a team are going to continue to work hard as an organization the same way. We continue to push and push until we get back to that top.
Okay. You start with, what do you want your game to be? What would make your game most unstoppable or hard to deal with? And now you work backwards from there. And you start building it one piece at a time, one move at a time, one counter at a time. So
the pace of your workout routine, is that because you're in hopes of possibly getting some preseason games in, or you want to be healthy for the season opener?
Well, I just try to listen to my body, you know, just kind of listen to it. We have a great staff here, and you know, we just work hand in hand and just listen to how my body feels, and just try to respond accordingly.
We used to have an All-American camp that I used to go to, and you know, at the time when I first showed, I was a sophomore, and one of the things I would do is while everybody would be at the cafeteria, eating and doing all sort of stuff, I just go back to the gym. I just go back to the gym.
They'd be resting,
and they'd see me leave, right? But now you're in a tough position because you're like, okay, I want to be like, I'm following the kid to go work out, but I know he's working, he's up early, and he's doing all this other stuff. And so that was my way of showing them, yeah, I may be from the suburbs, but you're not going to outwork me.
Wow.
And I'm mentally going to.
Did someone teach you that?
We really seem to, you know, have bonded and understand that, you know, if we want to get to that elite level, we really have to put in the work day in and day out.
With that, but I've worked extremely hard this summer to be able to play at a high level, regardless of the minute, right? If it's 30, if it's 48, I'm prepared to do whatever's necessary, and that's my job to do so.
My parents were great. You know, growing up, you know, they instilled in me the importance of imagination, of curiosity. And understanding that, okay, if you want to accomplish something, I'm not just going to sit here and say, yes, you can do whatever you want. Yes, you can, but you have to also put in the work to get there, right? So they taught me that at a really early age, man. And when you grow up as a kid thinking that the world is your oyster and all things are possible if you put in the work to do it, you know, you grow up having that fundamental belief.
One of your high school friends said, when I was partying, he was playing basketball. When I was waking up, Kobe was playing basketball before class. How would you describe your dedication to the sport even back then?
Well, I tried to find a balance, right? I tried to do both. You know, I had a great deal of energy. So if there was a school party going on or something like that, I mean, I'd play basketball for a few hours. You know, I'd do what I have to do and have fun doing it, and then I'd go to the party. And I'd show up, and I'd have a good time, have fun, and I'd be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, working out and, you know, training the next day. So I tried to do both.
40-point games, 60-point games in 3 quarters. So talk about what led up to the big monster 81-point game.
Well, it was, you know, 1,000 makes a day in the summertime, you know, and going through things, you know, just as I would during the game. So, you know, I knew exactly where my positions were within the triangle and where the shots would be coming from. So everything that I did throughout the course of my training was literally simulating that. So it was all game shots. So when it came in the game, things were just automatic because I'd put my body through it before. You know, sometimes you get in the gym and you work out and you work on ball handling, you work on shooting, but none of it's really within a structure of what you will be doing in the game. For me, it wasn't like that. It was literally carbon copy of what I'd be doing. So by the time the season came around, it was all just muscle memory. I understand, you know, there's different levels of focus and commitment to a craft. I get that completely. If guys want to go out and have a good time, I get that completely. However, if you're going to do that and you show up to work the next day, you better be ready, right? If you're going to do that, you better come to practice and you better be ready to go. And if you're not, I'm gonna let you know. And I think the message was sent pretty clearly.
Rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by.
Yeah, we're gonna work hard. That's what training camp's about, preseason's about, is working hard, getting in shape, getting in condition. And not so much about the games, but just, the game is just another way to kind of, get your exercise, get your win, get your rhythm. So we're pushing it in practice all week. And, I was able to focus on the game. A lot of the credit goes to my wife for not only putting up with it, but supporting my work ethic, because I work all day consistently, and she supported me, and a lot of credit goes to her.
But it's simple. Like if you do the math on this, right? Like if you're thinking about how often kids are playing, right? And I tell this to my daughter and my daughter's team as well that I coach. It's a simple thing of math. If you want to be a great player, if you play every single day, 2-3 hours, every single day, over the course of a year, how much better are you getting? Most kids will play maybe, an hour and a half, 2 days a week.
Right.
Do the math on that.
It's
It's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done, right? So if you're obsessively training 2-3 hours every single day over a year, over 2 years,
You're accelerating.
you make quantum leaps, man.
Just doing a
If I could work that hard every day, with being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day, so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, and you do that for 20 years, what do you have?
The kids are running. They've been running for 2 hours. Running. This one kid misses the line by like half inch.
No, it wasn't even a half inch. It was like about that much.
He misses the line. Kobe's like, stop. We had to stop everything. And he's like, nobody gets shoes. And all these kids are like,
oh, they're mad at the kid.
Yeah.
They're like, touch the line. All you gotta do is touch the line. That's it. It was this much. Touch the line.
and Kobe's like, no, nobody gets shoes. You guys sit on the sideline. And then Kobe made this kid run suicides, which is another drill. Baseline, free throw line, baseline, half court, baseline, opposite free throw line, baseline, and back.
3 in a row.
3 times.
You had to run 3 of them.
Yeah. But the best part was,
oh,
the last one, Kobe ran with this kid. He ran with this kid, okay? Yeah, it's awesome. He ran with this kid, and there's 1.1 million people are watching online. Crazy. He ran with this kid. This kid was dry heaving. He was about to die.
yeah. But
You're lucky he didn't die.
No, he wasn't going to die.
He wasn't gonna die.
But the important thing to understand is you can't shortchange yourself. Like you're not cheating anybody but yourself. Right? You're tired. You're literally this far away from the line. Why would you not go that extra to touch the line? Right? So if I let him get away with that, right, all of a sudden he starts maybe to cheat something over here, right? Not give his best over here. Not give his best over here. And as years go on, he's going to be he's not going to reach his full potential because he's been taking these little shortcuts that just add up. And you can't let that happen. Our job as teachers, as mentors, as inspirers, it's our responsibility to hold them accountable to those things. Pressure's a funny thing. I always felt like the people that feel pressure are the people that cut corners or really didn't put the work in. If you know you've put in all the work, what is there to be nervous about? You've done it thousands of times before. You just go up there and do it one more time. Really a question of what side of the fence do you want to be on? Do you want to be nervous in those situations, or do you not want to be nervous in those situations? Do you want to look at pressure as a normal sport occurrence, like breathing is to every single day of your life? Then you put in the work. And if you don't, man, that's on you.
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. Right? But you always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that. And that's what I tried to do when I first came in the league. But basketball is such a direct competition sport that me coming in at 17, I hated when like my teammates would say, you know, I get hit with an elbow, right? Shaq would hit me with an elbow in practice, and like, you know, Nick Van Exel would come up and say, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, what? Are you okay? What the hell's wrong with you?" You know, so like I always had that extra chip on my shoulder. So like every day in practice for me was really trying to annihilate everybody that I was playing against, because I wanted to prove you don't need to babysit me. Like I'm fine, you know.
Well, because you just focus on the day that you're playing. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like whatever you're doing in that moment, that's what you're doing. That's your sole focus. So you don't think about, you know, I have to do this for another year, or I have to do this for another 2 months. Just think about that moment. What are you doing at that moment in time? You focus on 100%. That happens to me, like when I'm running, when I'm working out, I'm running. I do a lot of work on the track, and I'm running, and I'm really tired. But the finish line is all the way on the other side. And if I look at where I have to run, I get even more tired. So what I do is I just look down. I just look down, I just look at my feet just moving. Then the next thing you know, I look up and I'm crossing the finish line.
Well, sorry to digress for a second, but how does an air ball feel good? I just want to know.
Because you know what?
I want to know that one.
No, that's a really good question. But you know, like sometimes you shoot the ball and you release it, and the trajectory feels good, your follow through is good, it's right there on target, it's in line, you're keeping the follow through up in the air, and then it goes short. But it feels good. So, you know, it's kind of like a shock to miss those sometimes.
Now, after that experience, obviously that weighs very heavily on your mind, but ultimately, Kobe Bryant works on his game. Shaquille O'Neal is right there in the house with you to begin with. Your game is elevated to another level. What did you do to get your game to that level specifically? For those out there, I mean, we got a whole bunch of basketball kids in the house. Yeah. No, what did you do to get your game to that level?
The prime example is I've had a trainer, the same trainer who's been training me for the last 10 years, named Joe Carbone. And after I shot those air balls, you know, I sat there and I thought, you know, as soon as we got on the plane, went back to LA that night, he and I met, and we went through the whole season, our training regimen. And the thing that we came down to was that our conditioning program needed to be adapted. We needed to change it.
All right, give it to me quick. What you do? And don't think I'm just listening just for the television show.
All summer long, we worked on our conditioning with the track. We did Olympic lifts. We went out there on the basketball court, and we did those 3 things in one day. And we did that all summer long. We broke them up in cycles. Because at the end of the game, even though the shots felt good, the truth of the matter is my legs were tired. I wasn't ready. You know, so what am I going to have to do now to get ready? So next time I'm in that position, I'm going to make those shots.
Is that what you still do to this day?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always asking why, you know, why didn't this work out? Okay, why did this work out? You know, how can I make this better? How can I make that better? So I'm always asking those questions to improve.
I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important, because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year, right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought, all right? What do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this. Half a year, 6 months, do nothing but shoot. All right, after that, all right, creating your own shot. And then you focus. So I started creating a menu of things. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better, right? And
a menu being like, I've got my jump shot from 15, I've got my
I got my jump shot from 15, I got my three-point shot, like just open shots, not miss open shots, right? Be able to shoot it with speed, because those kids are so much more athletic. And then the next summer I came back, I was a little better. And the summer came back, next summer I was a little better. I scored. You know, it wasn't much, but I scored.
And this is 12, 13.
12, 13. And then 14 came around, back half of 13, 14 years old, and then I was just killing everyone. And it happened in 2 years. And I wasn't expecting it to happen in 2 years, but it did, because what I had to do was work on the basics and the fundamentals, while they relied on their athleticism and their natural ability. And because I stick to the fundamentals, it just caught up to them. And then my body, you know, my knees stopped hurting. I grew into my frame. And
then your athleticism, once you have the fundamentals, the hard work, the mindset, and you tack on the athleticism, it's game over.
Then it was game over.
Wow.
Very flexible. Things come.
可以玩，一直玩，一直玩，一直玩，可又会
You move with it.
他说就跟着走。
The strength and flexibility and the strength and acceptance. Like in my game now, I could say, no, I want to be able to jump as high as I used to. I want to be able to be as fast as I used to. I have to be No, I don't jump as high as I used to. That's okay. I'm not as fast as I used to be. That's okay too.
I'll figure out another way to do it.
I just really wanted to get stronger because I saw that as untapped potential for myself. I felt like throughout the years since I've been in the league, I've been getting stronger every summer. And this summer, I felt like it was the time to really make that leap because I was knocking on the doorstep of becoming more of a power guard.